Hello, once again, my name is Savannah Thomas, and I am joined by Painted Brain community members Tristan Scremin, Kevin Naruse, and Rashawn Morris to talk about Minority Mental Health Month and what we are doing this month as a company to recognize and honor the month. So to start off, can you guys give me a brief introduction of yourselves?
My name is Tristan Scremin. I'm the Painted Brain Community Liaison.
Hi, my name is Kevin. I'm the Painted Brain Communications Director.
My name is Rashawn Morris. I am a program analyst at Painted Brain and also have my MSW from USC.
And so I guess to start off, first question, have you guys heard of Minority Mental Health Month before? And if so, like, what does that mean to you? Like, who are we recognizing this month?
I have heard it before only because I worked with Kevin, the communications director, to plan social media for the year. And we came across the month, but I've learned certainly a lot more in the past month and a half than I ever knew about this. And I think it's an important thing to have awareness around. I think that the folks from various minority communities do have different experiences, and we should honor and understand those perspectives.
For me, I had not heard of Minority Mental Health Month until maybe like a week into it. Our development team at Painted Brain spoke on it. And of course, as Tristan said, Kevin had already been trying to have a social media campaign around minority mental health, but I definitely did not know about it until maybe second week of July. So definitely was excited to hear that it is recognized because, as Tristan said, it's something that looks different among minorities. So it's important that it's recognized and we build off of that.
I've known about minority mental health for a while, at least for a number of years, 3-4 years maybe. Found it as a hashtag originally. And it wasn't hard for me because I worked in social media during that time and I was always seeing hashtags. So I knew about it. I knew that it was usually like a passing thought most times. It hasn't been shined a spotlight the way it has been ever. So I think it's a long overdue topic of discussion. And I'm kind of glad that at least, as tragic as the stuff that's been happening, it at least ignited that kind of discussion around it.
And then so kind of going off what Kevin just said, why do you think recognizing a month like this is so important to minority communities?
I think it is important for a variety of reasons. I was born in Rosario, Argentina. I'm an immigrant to this country and a Latinx person. And I know that mental health in the Latin American community looks very different than in the, dominant white community of the United States. And from my colleagues and friends and other peers, I know that almost every minority group has its own experience. Often these experiences are very different than the dominant cultures group. And also, I think it's the importance of having culturally relevant responses to mental health. It's not only the experience of the mental health clients, but also the clinicians, how they help. It has to be a culturally relevant help. And I think this month really helps to highlight that reality.
Yeah, I think on top of that, for me, I know, as Tristan said, in the minority community, mental health looks different. I think before that even, it may sometimes be kind of frowned upon. Like, we don't necessarily need to go seek help. This is just kind of how life is. So that's where I think part of it being awareness, not only for other populations to know that it looks different in the minority community, but for minorities to also improve their help-seeking behavior as well. I think that's very important. So this month kind of does both of those things, brings awareness and for people in the community, knowing that it's okay to go and think about your wellness or self-care and positive coping skills, things like that.
I know that the stigma around mental health, mental illness itself is already a huge block for many things. For the person who has, mental health problems, add beyond the fact of being a minority and being even marginalized, that makes it even worse because I'm sure the lack of health care that they often get, I know it must be worse for other people of color. So I think there's a lot of connection between social justice and mental health. I think that when social injustices, even things like street gang violence, even if you grew up with it, it still causes PTSD, even if you don't think. So go into a long thing about that, but I think it's a good thing that we're kind of focusing on that. And that's part of Painted Brain's mission too, because I think it states to community-based solutions to social injustices and mental health challenges. So like, this is like the perfect crossing point.
So what is Painted Brain as a company, organization, nonprofit? What are they doing in order to raise awareness and to recognize this month?
I think Painted Brain is doing a number of things. I'll talk a little bit about the video project we're working on. So we're creating this video and several others to document like this history and this reality and this perspective. And we're also having a very strong social media response, and we have an event. And with that, I'll pass it to Rashawn and Kevin, who are working on those projects too.
Yeah, thank you, Tristan, because I was going to say it's definitely a lot of different things. Something that I and the rest of the development team am kind of heading is in a panel event, which is titled Addressing Minority Mental Health One Day at a Time, which is a panel discussion on strategies to support mental health among minorities. So with that being said, bringing in different professionals, people from different backgrounds. So we have musicians, professors, community members that all have a perspective that we find is important to share to start a conversation, which, building off this month, will allow viewers to not only be more aware, maybe people who are outside the minority community to kind of understand more of what we're going through. And then I think with anything, we want to provide solutions as well, have that come out of this panel event, and action steps to continue to further this movement and push mental health as something that's important, and to promote positive like coping skills and things like that, and hopefully just bring more equality overall.
I would definitely think that a digital divide exists in mental health, and it is very real. I think especially during the pandemic, when like if you don't have access to Zoom or to internet, you can't even get therapy or treatment. So I think it matters especially so now. And part of the work that I'm doing with Painted Brain, with CRG and a couple other programs, is to bring more digital literacy. So people who aren't able to access smartphones and stuff. And we're teaching them how to do digital storytelling so they get amplify their voices. So I think that we work on the front lines of the communities that are the most affected. And so we work with a lot of these communities already. And this gives us more reason to do that.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And kind of as a last question, as we're wrapping up, do you think recognition for this month should be more widespread? And then why so, if that's the case?
Yes, I think that this awareness about this month should definitely be more widespread. I think Painted Brain recognizes that, and there are already ideas within Painted Brain to extend this month to a much longer, maybe yearly. You know, maybe Painted Brain just creates this one as one of the focuses, permanent focus at Painted Brain.
Yeah, I think too, just to add, I do think it should be nationally known. I think I didn't even know about it till this month, so that's how I know that it's something that's important. Kind of all the things we mentioned already for why it's important, and this is something that I think should not be only a American kind of thing. It should be international. Mental health is important overall. Like, doesn't matter where people are. I think that people should feel that this is an important issue and try to support it as much as they can.
I know that end of July is approaching, and Mental Health Month is going to end soon, or at least it seems to sound like that. Well, when in fact, every month should be Mental Health Month. I mean, we shouldn't like, okay, we're done. Let's move on. What other should we talk about? What other, I think we should continue that discussion. I predict that this will actually be continuing, might even intensify. Especially after all the social unrest, it's going to intensify these debates. That's my prediction.
Well, thank you guys once again so much for joining me today to talk about this very important topic. Once again, I'm Savannah Thomas, reporting on behalf of the Painted Brain.